Okay, so random real talk. I might start calling these things that, but I don't know. But I'm gonna try to make this quick because I only see 13 minutes that I got on my phone, and then I'm gonna have to delete this video so that I'll have more space. So here we go. I've been watching Tony Gaskins lately, and real quick, I've noticed that with him, I'll watch him, but then I'll stop, and it'll be like maybe months later, and then for whatever reason, I'll think about him, and then I'll watch a video of his, and then it'll be a rabbit trail. Like I'm just everything he's been posting lately, I will watch. So I'm on one of them sprees right now. And it seems like, well, first of all, I want to give credit and tip my hat off to him because he is one of the few men on YouTube who has been very consistent, very with his message and with his life. Obviously, I don't know him like that, but in terms of like keeping up with his like what he promotes, he's been really, really consistent. I love his message. I love that he loves the Lord. He incorporates God in what he does, and he is unapologetic about it. And he is very, very honest. Matter of fact, I would say that he gives a lot of the game about males that the normal woman don't get on a regular basis because we just, unfortunately, a lot of us just don't have real men like that who will tell us what it is, unless we got like really close brothers or like a really good relationship with our dads or something like that. But anyway, I just wanted to say that before I continue. So it seems like, according to his latest videos, he's starting to speak to the men more in terms of what they need to do in order to be the best version of themselves for us and taking responsibility. And as a woman, that's always appreciated. But again, he doesn't leave it out. Like he will say, now look, this is what men are doing. That's what they need to be responsible for. But this is what you women need to be responsible for. You know, that's fair. That's very, very fair. Now, I have a question, and Tony Gaskins probably will never, ever, ever come across this video because his pool of people is just so wide. He has a very, very large audience. But I was watching some of his latest videos about what does submission mean, and even some of his older videos, like the Single and Ready series, like Single and Ready to Date or Single and Ready to like get married, that type of stuff. And it just got me thinking about just the whole roles thing, what a man is supposed to do, what a woman is supposed to do. And he's spoken about this in one of his latest videos where he talks about how men aren't allowed the space to be vulnerable, and how if they cry, then they're seen as weak. They're seen as, being like it's not a place of strength. And how his son and his wife are watching him when he's at a movie or something, or like even at a funeral, his son is watching to see if he's about to cry. And so he talks about that whole thing and how society has said women are supposed to be this way and men are supposed to be this way. So of course it just made me think about something that had happened. It was two series of events, but it was like the same type of thing. And it was about me helping, I guess you can say, maybe quote unquote doing man work. So here was the situation. The first situation was I was at church and it was like a function going on outside, and the chairs, like the event was over and we needed to clean everything up. And so like I was like, okay, well I can help put some chairs away and like carry them back to the what's the name. And so there were men there, and I carried some, and then like on the way back, like the third time I was coming back to get some more, finally a man was like, oh no, you don't have to do that, let the men do it. But before that happened, another guy who was helping put the chairs away was like, oh, you don't need no man, huh? And it was kind of like, he didn't say it, but the undertone of his voice was like, oh, you one of them type of women that don't need no man. Like, you can do it all by yourself. It was sort of condescending. That was the tone of it. And I didn't say any response. I was just like, no, I'm just trying to help. But okay. And that was like a few months ago. Recently, a few days ago, I was at another function, and the atmosphere there is really, really male. The father power is very, very strong. They respect women, and it's one of them, when the speaker is up, like, hey, if there are any ladies who are standing, gentlemen, can you get up so they can sit down? That type of environment, which I love. But we were there, like, I got there, and it was pretty obvious that we needed some more chairs. And so there was a guy standing there, and I was just like, you think we should put some more chairs out? And he was like, yeah, I think so. So I was like, you need some help? And he was like, oh, no, I got it. And so someone came up to him and was like, oh, no, you can stop because let's just wait to see. And like, it was like, as he was putting chairs, when he eventually started putting the chairs down, I was like, you could see I was trying to help. And it just seemed like I felt masculine, or I was made to feel masculine because I wanted to help. I wanted to help put the chairs out. And no one said anything, but it was just like, so my question is, what is that? Because men will give off the impression that, look, a woman is a woman, you're a lady, you shouldn't be doing no men's work. And if you're trying to do a man's job, then you're trying to be a man, and that's so unattractive. That's not feminine. ABCD 1 2 3. But then if she doesn't offer to help with whatever it may be, I ain't talking about like lifting bricks or like construction work, but hey, if y'all are building a house together and she can help you build the house, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on now. But if she doesn't offer help, then men are like, man, like, what? All they do is just sit back. Like, what do we get? Like, what? They expect us to do everything. Like, we have to put all this hard work in. And so it's just like, okay, so if I offer help, then I'm being masculine. But if I take initiative and just start doing stuff, I'm being too masculine. But then if I just lay back and let you do it without offering any assistance, then I'm seen as entitled, and I'm a girly girl, and I'm too high maintenance, and you don't want a girl who's so stuck up. I don't understand. Someone, please. I would love to hear that mindset, because another thing that Tony Gaskins has been kind of on lately, which I appreciate, because I've spoken with someone I would view as a high quality man. He has said this exact same thing. Tony Gaskins says that a lot of men now want a woman who can bring 100% to both sides of the game. Meaning he wants her to be a hustler, go-getter, hard worker, what you bring into the table. But he also wants her to be homemaker, wife, and mother. And give that her 100%. And it's just like, we can't, I'm gonna tell you, it's extremely, extremely hard to do both. And ultimately, we can't. Women, we cannot do both. We cannot bring 100% over there and 100% over here. And if you ask any man that, they'll tell you the same thing. Like, ask a man to put 100% in his business, and then ask a man to put 100% into whatever other personal interest that he has. He can't. He's not going to be able to do both, because more than likely, his main focus is going to be making money and quote unquote providing for himself if he's single, or for his family. And that's the balance. That's like, I've spoken to gentlemen, and they can't even understand the value of that balance. I've spoken to men about, I believe that the man should be the sole provider of the home, and the woman should at least have the option to stay home and take care of the kids and take care of you and take care of the house. But I've heard more than one man say, absolutely not. I don't understand that. If I'm working, she better be working. What's she bringing to the table? What can she do? Men, what do we get? We have to do everything. So, yeah, it's back to that. It doesn't really... Actually, I ain't gonna say that because I don't want this to come across as a man bashing video. But I'm confused. It's kind of like, men, do you know what you want? And what you want, is it realistic and is it maintainable? Because back to the woman who can strive to give 100% to both, at some point she is gonna break, and more than likely it's gonna be physically first, well, emotionally first, because it's too much. As a woman, it's too much. And single mothers are a perfect example. It is so hard to hold the house down and to take care of the kids, to cook and clean and make sure everything is running good at the same time. So even the 7-figure woman who is making that money, you know how hard that is on a woman's body? Wasn't designed to be like that. So whoever watches this video and watches it to the end, I'm open to hearing your thoughts. I'm open to hearing your comments about it. Yeah. And whoever watches and comments, just be respectful. That's all I ask. And respect other people's opinions, because just because you think one way doesn't mean that we all have to agree with you, and vice versa. So I love you. I'll talk to y'all later.